Is the All right. Let's get this one underway, guys. So welcome to today's stream. We're here in Formula One 2021 again. And as we mentioned last week, we got the Monaco Grand Prix. So just before we get underway, guys, if you do enjoy the video, consider giving it a like, subscribing, checking out my Twitter in the description down below. If you'd like to be kept up to date with when we go live, when new videos go out, whenever anything new really happens with the channel, hit that notification bell to the right of the subscribe button. We'll just give you a notification every single time we do. I'm feeling a million times better today. I'm sure that'll change with Monaco though. But without further ado, guys, let's get completely into it. So just click back in. So one thing I didn't notice last week when we wrapped up the stream was if we look into the race forecast, we've got a rainy session in practice 2 and the race is due to be a rainy session as well. So this will be pretty crazy. So let's get into practice and that's all good. We'll go into it. So I hope everyone's been having an awesome week and looking forward to this stream because I sure as hell am really excited to be back here in Formula One. So I'm going to holler it down while they do the intro. Might need to slightly lower the volume of that. Let me just turn the audio settings up a little bit in game. They seem to touch quiet.
Give us some consistent laps, please. We're looking for good data that we can work into the race strategy.
Ooh. Not a super good start. Oh, it actually won't let me do it. Oh, there we go. Let's get underway on this practice program. Oh, wow.
That was a heck of an impact. Let me know you're okay.
Oh, man.
Bad. Are you
This is going to be a long race. Wow. Nope, that's going straight on there. I still feel like I've got no turn in on this car sometimes. Let me just have a quick check or something. Nope, that's not what I want. Can't move that many. Nope, that's definitely made it 10 times worse. Man, come on.
Are you okay?
Wow.
That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please. Are you all right? Engine off. Engine off.
Yep. I don't know how much slower I need to be going through that corner. Like, honestly.
What happened? Let me know you're okay.
Yep. Thanks, mate. Alright. Even then, I like, honestly, this is going to be a joke in the rain. Oh, do I not have a wing? Let's just start this again and see if it's any better.
Okay, we need a few solid laps here to help us calculate a good race strategy. you okay?
Man.
Nasty hit. Turn the engine off and wait for the marshals.
I guess the only perks of being the owner of the team is they can't fire me. Well, I'm 4 seconds off the pace. I'm half tempted to. Oh, this is.
That was a
Nah,
heck of an impact.
just
Let me know
gonna
you're
skip
okay.
through it and see what happens. Obviously this isn't gonna be my race weekend, so before I get too frustrated, I'm just going to move straight into qualifying.
The session has drawn to a close.
Yep.
Well, things didn't really go. You had a mishap in practice. Will this affect qualifying or race day? It's the start of the season. How do you think things are going to go for you? You didn't spend much time practicing. Are you saving your car for the main event? Great. Well, that's everything.
All right. Let's go with that one.
We'll make the changes you requested.
I wonder if it may have been set up related to why the car just felt. Well, I was just trying to keep the tradition of Leclerc not starting a home Grand Prix. All because I lost that dumb wing.
That looked bad. Are you all right? Let me know you're all right.
Wow. Absolute shocking lap.
Car repairs have set us back a little.
Like, I can't put any more steering input than that into the car. Should have just let that ride as a retirement.
We have 2 laps of fuel remaining.
See if we can maybe improve on that a little bit. Oh wow, as that was bull. All right. So I think at the moment, I don't think I'm going to be able to get much faster than that. I got 114. Yeah, no, this is it. Like we're pretty well done at this point. Just gonna go into the race and see what happens. I think it'll be raining this race too, so we'll just have to see what happens with it.
Let's have your take on it. You lost to your teammate today. Was it just not your day? Your qualifying pace didn't put you at the front of the grid. Will this be a problem tomorrow? You scraped the walls a few times. Were you struggling for grip? Great. Well, that's everything.
So let's just see what the go is here, what we can make of it. I'm not hoping for too much. I've kind of been having a few thoughts recently, and sorry, I thought I had to sneeze. It's kind of on the cusp of the thought process of what happened with.
Formula One returns to
I'll let them
Monte
intro,
Carlo
and then we'll
once
talk
again.
about it during the race.
Home to the world-famous Monte Carlo Casino, first opened in 1863. And, of course, a certain road race, first held here in 1929. There's no greater an occasion, no more valuable a win than the Monaco Grand Prix. The prestigious Circuit de Monaco, then. It's not all that dissimilar today to the layout that made its debut almost a century ago. It's 2 miles and 19 corners through the streets of Monte Carlo, and although the average lap speed of around 93 miles per hour is the lowest of the season, the tiny margins for error make it the natural habitat of the safety car. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here today, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
But from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the rundown into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course, you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Hamilton, Perez, Charles Leclerc and Sainz, Norris, Ricciardo.
This is one thing I will comment on.
And Sebastian Vettel. Sonoda.
It feels like sometimes it's just
Fernando Alonso,
the top 3 or 4 cars in procession order, and then you'll have like the two
Antonio Giovinazzi, and
the
George
two Alphas, the two Alpines, all of them all together.
Latifi and the real deal. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
So what I was thinking of potentially is, and this is on the cusp of, I'm not sure if this video has gone live just yet. I was unfortunately relegated back to B category license in how many laps? I was unfortunately relegated back to B license for iRacing, so I was thinking about potentially, instead of running the Formula 1 game, running iRacing instead as my weekend kind of streaming thing. We would do like 1 or 2 races potentially, depending on timings, etc, etc. But just a thought, we'll see how we go, especially if I am struggling to come up to speed with this game. At least with iRacing, it's a little bit more in my wheelhouse. I would say I'm a little bit better with it, but I wouldn't say that all that much. It's just something I'm a little bit more familiar with. Alright, so profitable first few corners. We were able to get up a few spots, which is good. Yeah, I'm really struggling to
Check your MFD for a new
come to grips with this game as a whole. Yeah, what's the time? Actually, you know what we're gonna do? Bear with me for 30 seconds, guys. Welcome to iRacing, ladies and gentlemen. We just made it in time to qualify for this IMSA Hagerty GT3, IMSA Hagerty multi-class race. So, look, Formula One just wasn't cutting it for me, and my mind was elsewhere in the respect that after I got relegated back to B, Category B license, I really just wanted to focus on getting back to A class license. All I've been thinking about this week, but I haven't had the time to race it. So we're going to be jumping in and hopefully getting some good strong results here. So we're going to start with doing this race here. This is IMSA Hagerty race. It's a 45-minute multi-class race. However, we don't have any LMPs. So we don't have any GT3s. We've only got, far out. We don't have any GTEs. We have the GT3, our category, and we have the LMP2s. So I probably didn't pick the best track to jump into. Snetterton is a very, very hard track to race on. But hopefully we have some good hard racing. At least we've got 4 other cars here in this category with us. If we find that this even as well doesn't work very well in a streaming format, what we might end up doing is just jumping into a more casual game. Potentially car racing, doesn't necessarily have to be. And then just seeing how that runs with us. Oh wow, after being in those Formula One cars and let's see if we can switch to a good lap. I did do a Snetterton race here. Wasn't multi-class, was just a VRS GT sprint race earlier in the season. I can't remember how far back it was, but yeah. And then hopefully we do the second race at the Red Bull. Oh, come on, Oliver. You're better than that. And I'm into the fence. Damn it. Wish I'm going to get pinged as well. This is going to bump me onto my second lap. And I'm going to get a slowdown penalty. This is my last lap, so it's kind of all or nothing. Isn't a perfect start to this, but with only 4 cars. Hopefully means we can kind of work our way back up to it. Not a lot of people are a big fan of Snetterton. I do like it because it's a very rewarding track when you do hook up a lap here. Pretty abysmal lap, but that being said, even if we do set a lap and no one else does, we'll start second on the grid, which is good. How much slower than he was, 5 seconds, yeah, and most of that probably in the pit lane and coming out. So anyway, probably got about 2-3 minutes before we get underway, so go grab a drink and then come back and sit down and we'll get started on this race. Hopefully we stay in our position. We'll just have to see how we go. Just going to bump the audio up a little bit as well for Spotify. And maybe bump this one ever so slightly down.
Radio check.
Spotter, radio check.
Oh, that's not what I meant to hit. Or that one. Wow. Right, 30 seconds, then we get underway. We've dropped back into P3 behind Tristan Hurl. But yeah. With a car number 2. That's all calculated, for those who don't know, based off your iRacing score, or iRating, and that's the number in white that I'm a 1.5. So if you see for the guy Edward is a 3.4, I'm the next highest in the race. That's why I've got car number 2. So the game expects you
the end of the session.
to finish in P2 realistically, but that's not always the case. And you'll notice there in the bottom right hand, -39. That means if I were to remain in my position of position 3 in my category, I would lose 39 iRating points, which isn't good. We've got all B drivers, relatively safe drivers above that 2.0. Then we've got Edward there. So I'm just going to untick windshield tear-offs just here. And then untick tyres. Actually, what I might do for the next race is, because when I do my YouTube videos, this section here is where I would put my TV1 bird's eye view footage of what's going on the track. But unfortunately, because I can't do that with you can't set up multicams in race. At least I can't. That's going to be blank. So what I might do is I might put my track down here in a little bit bigger for you guys, so it's a little bit easier to see. So you may notice that in the top left hand as well on the standings sheet that 3 or 4 cars, or you've just seen the BM ping in, have got faded out names.
45 minutes.
That means that they're physically not on track at the moment. So there's only one, which is Edward ahead of
We
us.
need to follow car number 7 in the right column.
Yep. So Edward's the only person who started on track. I'm not sure if the other LMPs pulled out of the race or are simply starting from the pits. Just depends really, but yeah. So we're about to get underway very early here. If you do hear someone talking, it's just my digital spotter for those who haven't seen any of my other iRacing videos.
Okay, Oliver, get ready. Go, go, go.
I'm going to cover off into the inside to stop Matt having a crack.
On your left. Hold your line. Clear left. Car left. Still there. Clear left.
Got that move up on me.
On your right. Clear right.
Oh, wow. BM came right down on me. We've got 6 seconds to him ahead to Tristan. So see what comes of it and if we can close that gap down ever so slightly, provided I don't have too much damage. Inner curves there are a joke. Alright, so we have closed that gap down, but we're also running the highest amount of downforce possible because I like to have a more sturdier car. I've touched on this in a few of my normal iRacing videos, but I'm just going to have to re-explain a few things just in case there is anyone in the chat or anyone in general who is very new to iRacing. Also have Michael ahead, but this is
Car left. Clear left.
Come on, Oliver. Good stuff. Keep it coming.
As you can see there in the bottom right hand, we had the little ping go up by 10. So we're now on a net positive position. So if we were to remain in this position, which depending on if we have any issues or we're able to catch up to Michael, who's a fair ways up the road, but it just depends what kind of lap times he's punching in. Would mean we'll either stay in this position or get a little bit more, but we just need to push that gap to Tristan a little bit more, a little bit higher.
P2, that lap was at 150.29.
I'm not sure if Michael's had a bit of a moment because he dropped from 11 seconds ahead of us to 6 seconds. This just feels like I can inherently, I feel, be a little bit more entertaining. I can talk a little bit more because I'm used to doing it inherently via YouTube. I know how my Lambo's going to handle in most situations after having raced it exclusively for almost 8 months now. And hell, if this ends up being a little bit more of a relaxing kind of thing, I might end up doing this as opposed to just doing like my more structured YouTube videos. I might favour doing this potentially like a stream night where I'll stream, do a few races.
You're pulling away. The gap behind is now 2.8.
Tristan also may have started to find his groove because he's not dropping off behind us all as quickly as what we caught up to him. Oh. Move out of his way.
Attention to track limits.
Car right. Clear right.
Let him through because I made a big mistake there. I clipped too much of that in the curb. Cost myself a buttload of time. Didn't want to hold him up, so now we have to do all that work again.
P3.
That BMW doesn't look stable at all. Following him. Ah, man, damn. I gotta just run my own race, not focus on where he's putting his car on the track because it's obviously the wrong place. Ah. Gotta stop following him.
We've gone out of track limits.
Cost me a
Keep between
race.
the lines. The gap in front has increased. It's now about
Yeah.
1.3.
Losing time to Tristan again. Alright, come on. Knocked a few tenths off in that final sector on Michael ahead.
P2.
That was a good corner there. Knocked a bunch of time off Michael ahead. Just gotta keep punching in some really good laps because I think I am faster than him.
Okay, Oliver, our refueling window will open after 14 minutes and closes after 30 minutes.
Now you can see on my relative in the bottom right hand there, you'll see Edward Gorham in the gold LMP category. He's now starting to lap because the LMPs are the quicker category by a long, long margin. So in not a very long time, he'll be right up onto the back of me. In that final sector, we are far quicker than Michael, and that's because we are running that higher downforce setting. So let's look where our lap time was in comparison. It was like 51.3. We're considering
That was a 149.93. Your times are good in all three sectors.
just have to hunt him down and get past him.
The car behind is pitting. Here come the LMP2 runners. Blue flag.
We're going to take that car,
Right
mate.
side. Clear right.
Oh, so everyone's left now, bar me and Michael. As you can see, Edward's already miles up the road. We are not racing him in the slightest. Should also be a good indication of how many times you will be lapped in a race. When you do get that first overtake against you, is about the 10-minute mark for us. So he'll probably overtake us 4 or 5 times over the course of the race. So it's just something to mentally prepare yourself. Every 10 minutes you can kind of say, okay, well, being 10 minutes, Edward will most likely be close to overtaking me now.
You're reeling this car in. The gap's now 7.2. That lap time was 149.56.
We're now within about 6 seconds. So if we just continue to punch in those consistent 49 laps, we'll be on him. Oh, this was wrong. This was all kinds of wrong. Very slow through there. Just kind of was glancing at my fuel on the wrong section of track. Should have done it down the straight. There to wipe off a little bit more speed than I usually do. He's in the 50s now, 50.9. I think I'm going to be like 50.4.
All three sectors are pretty quick.
Slightly wide through there.
Yellow flag, watch out.
Ah, he spun it. It's not over yet. We can very easily loop it around this track. About 9 laps of fuel just left at a minute 40-ish. So we're pretty close to that 30-minute mark when we pit. Yeah.
The gap behind has now decreased to 2.5 seconds. You're in the lead. That was 151.08. You're a second down in sector 3.
Yeah, I know, I was very slow through that final sector because I went deep into that corner.
Okay, Oliver, you've got half your fuel left.
Michael's not exactly dropping off from us. He's remaining that 2.5, 2.6, 2.3 seconds away from us. Also got Edward coming around for his second lap. He's about 60 seconds behind us, so he's about 2 laps away from getting onto us. That gap out another 5-6 tenths of a second this lap, which is good, so he's up to that 3-second mark. Should probably be a low 50 or a high 49.
Sector 2 time is okay.
I do sometimes find that the IMSA series is a more desolate place, whereas the VRS will typically always have a full split, whether that's a diverse split, like you'll have 4Ks racing against 0.7Ks. That's inconsequential, whereas I sometimes find that the IMSA Hagerty series does struggle to get a full lobby. We've been pretty slow and Michael's been pretty quick on this lap. So just close that gap up to 2 seconds. Yeah, so we'll pretty much have 10 minutes of downtime, which will give me a little bit of time to practice, do a few little bits and pieces, and then we'll be into that VRS G2 sprint race at the Red Bull Ring, I believe it is this week. Seconds, so he's right on the cusp of slipstream as well. So, I wonder if Edwards made a mistake or something because he's not catching us all that quickly in that LMP. As cool as I thought he would be. I kind of expected him to be on us by the end of this lap. Must have been a slow first few corners for Michael because he has dropped back a few tenths. I have thought about potentially either jumping into the BM or the Merc. Just heard the Merc is a little bit more of a handful, and I really do like A, how the Lambo looks, but more importantly, how it drives.
The gap behind is now 1.8 seconds. All right, Oliver, you've got 10 minutes of fuel remaining.
See Edward now having caught onto the back of us. It's pretty much going to catch us.
Blue flag. You're leading.
Come on, bud.
Right side. Clear right.
And this is what can be frustrating being in the slowest category car. Although very fast, Michael has dropped back almost 1.2 seconds behind us in his hunt. He was right on the cusp of being within DRS range for us. Yet, with
We're halfway home.
Edward coming in,
8 minutes of fuel left.
he's dropped that gap. Admittedly, Michael has done a pretty good job of closing that one straight back up to me, minimising it. But still, it's really annoying. It's easy to get frustrated with it. And what annoyed me about that overtake was I was on my fastest lap. I was up to 2-3 tenths, I'm pretty sure.
Sector 1 is 0.7 off the pace. Sector 2 is 0.5 off the pace. Sector 3 time is fast. $20 minutes remaining, you've got 20 minutes left.
5 minutes left to fuel.
The gap behind is now 2.9. Okay, Oliver, we estimate you've got 5 minutes of fuel remaining. That lap was a 149.18.
Well, at least I know that I've got time for a high 48. Because I made a few mistakes in the final sector of that lap. Nope, I think he went straight on, maybe had a hardware failure. Oh, what's going on? I saw Michael's name ping across my screen a few times. I've got no doubt that if I nail that corner, I can probably knock 2 or 3 tenths off that time that I set last lap. Somewhere.
Sectors 1 and 3 are fast. Sector 2's 2 tenths off the pace. Okay, Oliver, very little fuel left. Come into the pits at the end of this lap. Box this lap. The car behind's pitting.
Too concerned about. I'm going to obviously try my best to have a fast in lap, but I don't want to risk trying to set a PB and potentially giving myself a silly incident point, or worse yet, putting myself in the pits for like 40 minutes of mandatory repairs. Yeah, he must have damage. Potentially made a mistake in his refueling. And like not unticked tyres, which some I don't know why you would, but some people do put tyres. You're not really wearing them quick enough in a 45-minute race. When we come out of the pits, we'll have 15 minutes to go.
Pit lane speed limit is 55
So 33
kilometers per
litres
hour.
going in.
All right, Oliver. We'll fuel you to the end of the race.
Nine seconds of optionals.
15 minutes remaining. 15 minutes to go. Pit exit is clear.
One thing I do like about that, I've just had the LNP jumping in the pits as well. So it means I don't have to worry about any unnecessary contact or him catching me at an awkward time of the race. So he's only going to catch me one more time before the end of the race. Unless he pits and I overtake him in the pits, which I doubt I'll get, like he'll be that slow coming into the pits. Because he'll have like a 20-second gap at the time I come in. Time he goes in, sorry. I have a feeling that Michael may have had a small amount, maybe like 60 seconds of mandatory repairs or something like that. After making contact with the wall or maybe a drive-through. I'm not too sure.
Car behind's pitting now.
At least we unlapped ourselves once, I guess, but it's going to happen again. That sucked that the other LNPs didn't race with us because it's usually pretty damn exciting racing, and I would have enjoyed to see Snetterton with like a full grid full of people. It was crazy with the VRS series. I would hope with only 7 incident points that it is an increase to our safety rating. But again, if it is, it will only be very minor, it won't be massive. Maybe point something, 0.3 or even that, I'd be lucky too.
Blue flag.
Come on, bud, get through.
Car right. Clear right.
Michael's back out of the pits, which is good. Nearing on 10 minutes.
Your pace is good in sectors 1 and 2. Sector 3 is 1.2. Off the pace.
I made a mistake there again, bud.
Okay, Oliver, 10 minutes to go. That's 10 minutes
10
left.
to go. Got about 5-6 laps left to go too. Moving on to the VRS GT Sprint Series. It feels so surreal saying that in a live stream format, not an not a like pre-recorded kind of bit. Very irregularly will I run both series back to back because I don't usually have this much free time in the day, like on a weeknight when I'm filming the regular channel content. This is nice, this is refreshing. Obviously this has been a very low-key race from the start of the first 5 laps, but
Your last lap time was 150.47. Sectors 1 and 3 are looking quick. Sector 2 is 0.5 off the pace. We're setting the pace. Your lap time was 149.93.
see if we can potentially set a slightly quicker lap time. Let's go around to my best. Alright.
You've got 10 minutes of fuel remaining.
Less than 10 to go. That was good out of there. Got on the power just at the right time to save myself some. Exit out of there. See if we can nail these final few sectors. Final few corners, sorry, not sectors. Ah, damn, I was aiming for that curb. Whoa. Don't want to be that far out wide. In exciting iRacing news though, there was a few tweets about dynamic weather and rain coming to iRacing. It says soon, so that could be 3 months, that could be 3 years away, but that's pretty exciting. If iRacing could get dynamic weather happening in sim consistently, that'd be awesome, especially for like those long endurance races, like the 24-hour ones that you see. Like, that'd be pretty cool. And it would give people another excuse when things don't go their way. Oh, it was raining, it was wet on track, all that kind of thing.
Come on, Oliver, just 5 minutes left. Hold your nerve, we can win this.
Out of that corner slightly quicker than we did last lap again, not by very much, only marginally. Just get out of there. At least we're consistently lapping in the low to mid 49s, which is good, which means if I were to potentially wipe off some of the downforce and go to the moderate levels
Your lap
downforce,
times are improving. This is exactly what we need. We're currently setting the pace.
I would
That
say
lap time
would be
was
in the vicinity of
149.42.
mid to high 48. Also, if this were like Snedden and we can say the VRS GT Sprint Series, where I typically would run this track more frequently, I'd say I can consistently get into the 48s. Probably isn't a big achievement for people with higher I ratings, but for me, setting good consistent lap times is for me what's important. These first few seasons, I've explained it in a few of my YouTube videos, isn't really about overall results. They're a bonus if I get some good results, but they're not the be all and end all of they're not the real objective. It's just about getting consistent, getting good, and mostly learning. Considerably quicker this run here onto this back straight. Next go around will be white flag.
2 minutes to go, 2 minutes. We estimate you've got 5 minutes of fuel remaining. We're quickest right now. That lap was a 149.69.
Even if I were to DNF now, statistically Michael couldn't overtake me because he's a lap down and there's only one lap to go, so he'd have to have 2 laps in order for him to overtake me and technically beat me in the race. Because the second car, number 1, Edward's car, crosses over that line, it's going to cut Michael's race short. Whereas because my Edward hasn't overtaken me yet, again for a second time, and if I keep it that way, I'll have one more lap and I'll finish the race at full race distance. Whereas his will be cut 1 lap short, so it'll pretty much eliminate any chance of him doing that. Still got 15 minutes to go as well.
Come on, Oliver. One more lap. Keep it together. We'll win this. We're running on fumes, mate.
We have enough fuel. And there we go. First place result. Obviously, with only 2 competitors because the other 2 dipped out like 5 laps in, and at the end of the first lap, it was pretty much guaranteed to be a top 2 finish.
Well done,
Still had
Oliver.
to keep it
Great
straight.
win. You deserved that today.
So we're going to jump on over into the results after we jump out of the car. See how badly my safety rating tanked with potentially the issues I've had. I still haven't jumped in those Formula Vs just yet, or the Porsche for that matter. Come on, give us the results. Beautiful. Oh, wow, for real? Well, that's a little bit disappointing. Probably should have seen that coming, though, with as few people running. Maybe because no one ran in the GTE class. But, well, that's extremely disappointing. But anyway, not much we can do about it. Guys, I'm just going to quickly jump on off for just one quick second while I organise getting registered for the next race, and I'll be right back with you. Got to unmute my mic. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for the delay in that one there. We were just stepped off to grab a drink and getting ready to get into this next VRS GT sprint race. I'm a little bit upset that we didn't get any gains out of that race we did, but not much we can do about it. So I'm just in the process of loading us in to that other race, and then we'll get flicked over to it and go again. How many people are registered for that session? Why are you taking so long to load, game? I don't really want to run the IMSA Hagerty one again, especially if it's only going to be 3 or 4 people that race it. We have got 90 people registered for this session here. So whatever the results are, we should definitely have an improvement on. Still going to count that one there as a win against us because we still finished the race and there was other people against us. So let's untick you. Also might ever so. 4 Hours of Charlotte is on July 31st. 1st of August, though. There you go, joining the practice. So you've got a loading screen up in just a moment, guys. Beautiful. And after we finish this one up here, guys, we're probably going to call the stream there. I think it's been a good one. Relatively good, and I think we've got a good direction to roll into the next few streams with. I thoroughly enjoyed doing that stream there at Stenderton. Yeah. So yeah, I'm thinking this will become what we do. The other alternative, like as I touched on, I do play a little bit of Warzone, so we might make weekends FPS day where we do Warzone and potentially some zombies, because I do enjoy playing zombies, a little bit more of a chill vibe. Have a good group of guys that I play with, so that could be an option. Or we potentially just stick to iRacing. I'm not too sure at this stage. It's more about just me showing you guys what I enjoy doing, a little bit of everything, but iRacing is my primary focus for everything. I've also potentially thought about doing Trackmania. I've been watching a lot of virtual streams on Twitch, and I've been thoroughly enjoying it. So I have had a thought of potentially doing it, but I know that in order to get good, there is a lot that goes into getting good at that game. Like it would be almost like picking up iRacing again. So yeah. All right. So what I'm going to do as well, I'm going to mess around with this map a little bit. I'm not going to be able to do that.
That's a new fastest lap for Kirkham,
Because
130.46.
I actually physically need to interact with that screen, like to watch my fuel and untick pit strategies and stuff like that. Alright, bugger it. That's how we're running with it for now. I'm gonna see potentially if I can get away with running moderate levels of downforce. Let's see how the car feels.
The pit lane speed limit is 60 kilometers per hour. The track temperature is falling. It's now 26 Celsius.
How's in this race, which is good. I haven't seen him in a little while. I think I did a race with him earlier in the week.
Looks
as
like you're
well.
clear on the pit exit.
Also got the Formula One happening tonight at the Hungaroring. We had a Mercedes lockout for the first time in a very long time, with Max Verstappen in third, and for the life of me, I can't remember who's fourth. Vettel, my favourite driver, starting I think P10, which is a good result for him, and Carlos Sainz, I think, starting from the very back of the grid due to that incident. It didn't feel too bad. Alright, so we're going to jump into another loading screen, guys, just while we load into the actual track. This was just a pre-race practice. So 12 o'clock, which is good, and then, well, 12 o'clock where I am, and then we will get into... then we'll probably wrap up the stream there, so I'm not too sure. Let me check how long we've been going for. We've currently stream settings, not... Why won't... 2 hours. So yeah, we'll pretty well be on that 2 hours and 40 minute mark by the, let's say 2 hours 50 by the time everything's all said and done. Which is good, which is pretty well inconsistency with where we go. So maybe we potentially do one VRS, or wait, one IMSA Hagerty, one VRS, and another IMSA Hagerty, and that'd pretty much do us for a stream. So do 3 races. That'd be good. Whether that's just over or just under 3 hours is pretty inconsequential, because we're about 50 minutes in with that Formula One session. But yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying this, and if we potentially do like a FPS kind of deal, I can grind that away for hours and on end. I enjoy doing that, so we could potentially even do like a half day kind of deal. At least with this one here, we're guaranteed to get either an increase or a decrease to our safety and I rating. So 27th. Let's see entries. Alright, so I'm the last car in this one. So I'm actually not going to set a qualifying lap. I'm just going to let it ride, because anything up from there will be an increase. Let's see who we got racing with us. So Tomo's good. I've raced against him once or twice. Todd O'Neill is pretty good. Takau's in this one. Neil Hunter I've raced against a few. Zach I've raced against a few times. So pretty good race. And 1, 2, 3 Australians in this race. So it'll be interesting. So yeah. Actually, stuff it. I'm going to try my best to set a qualifying lap.
The track temperature's decreasing. It's now 19 Celsius.
I'm going to set a qualifying lap. Wasn't going to, but I am now, because if we can start 5-6 places up just to avoid any dramas in race, I'll do that. We might also fail both laps.
Pit exit's clear. Okay, Oliver, we've got 2 laps to get the job done.
So we are going to have a little bit more straight line speed than what we typically do have around here, so I just need to factor that into my braking decision making. And the only thing that really concerns me is those last few corners of the lap are a little bit more downforce dependent. So the first few times I go through there, I will probably be a little bit more cautious. I could even potentially make the Saturday stream, should we go down the iRacing thing, make it a different category, so potentially doing like oval racing, like NASCAR stuff, which is what my other thought was. Like that, if I were to change disciplines, I think that'd be what I would want to potentially give a shot to. Alright, I can't even remember what kind of lap times I was setting last time around here. For the life of me, can't remember the lap time I was saying. I want to say like a 1:30 potentially. And I know they did say it just up there at the top of the, just before we got started. I think it was a 1:30. What appears to be a very simple track, which is what this Red Bull Ring layout may appear to some as, is actually not the case. It's a very difficult track. Especially because it is such a fast track with so many long straights and so many fast corners, people tend to make overtaking opportunities in sections of the track that aren't an overtaking opportunity. Power onto the throttle there, that cost me a bit of time. And too early on the power and it understeered out ever so slightly. I actually set a pretty decent outlap, I feel.
Your lap time was at 1:31.62.
If I could set a mid-30, that'd be good. Also most likely running minimal fuel, as you should be doing in a qualifying session. However, I elect not to do that only because it puts me in my more accurate position for the start of the race, not somewhere where I am on corrected fuel amounts. See there, those mistakes I made on the last lap was 4/10 worth of mistake. Seven tenths quicker, so it will be a high 30. Which is a good result. I can be happy with that. Obviously, there's still a little bit left to go in this session. I can still very easily be undercut and probably drop back down a few spots, but I can live with that. That is a. I can be happy with that. Beautiful. Yeah, so there we go. Jordan Grant. Actually, I raced against him as well. There we go. We dropped 2 more spots. So 15th isn't too bad. But then you got your people like Nicholas and Giovanni. Cars number 2 and number 4 didn't set a qualifying lap. Yeah, so with 2 minutes to go in P16, I can be very happy with that, or P17 even. I don't care really where I end up. If I end up all the way back in P27, because of like that's where the game expects me to be, I'm happy with that. And I'd be interested to see how the game calculates, like because I had the lowest iRating of anyone here. If it will in fact say, okay, well if you finish P17 10% higher than we expect you to finish, mate, that's good for you, great job. We're gonna count that as a big win for you. We should get a pretty sizable iRating boost, and it's all down to safety rating and like whatever I decide to do, whether I keep my nose clean or not. Sorry, didn't mean to smash my mic there. Yeah, 60 seconds to go. $15 to go, and then we will get underway for 40 minutes. So 5 minutes less than the IMSA Hagerty race. However, you probably wouldn't want much more than that, because people start to get silly and they start to.
That's the end of the session.
Race. It's weird. I also don't. Oh, so 18. I'm happy with that. Still a net loss of iRating of 20, but hey, not much I can do about that now. It's going to be similar to last race where you're pitting around the 30-minute mark. And one thing I do enjoy about live streaming is I don't need to time my intro with getting cut off by the spotter and everything like that, because I'm already talking to you guys, already there. Alright, I'd be curious to see where Takao is. He runs a Lambo as well, I'm pretty sure. And this week's race seems to be pretty well dominated by BMs, Audis, and Mercs. You see a few Porsches, as you can see by Todd ahead of us, and you always see a few Ferraris, and there's a Lambo. So that's pretty cool livery on that one there. I think that is Jordan's. There's about 60 seconds left to go. Hopefully
the air temp is 18 Celsius. The track temp is 19 Celsius.
Everyone must have loaded in before the end of that counter, so
follow car number 19 in the right column.
So it's not a full lap formation, it is a final sector formation lap. So it gets underway pretty well within a few corners of the formation lap. And yeah, I hope for my sake that my race doesn't get ended in the first 3 corners, because that'd be pretty boring for you guys, and probably will call the stream there early. But hey, we'll do our best.
Green, green, green.
We pretty much couldn't have done much better than that coming off that corner because it was pretty much where we came off. Where we came off the corner and where we would be on the power
right.
anyway.
Still there.
There's some smoke.
Clear right.
Hope you don't shoot up the inside, mate, because you're going to run out of track that way because I'm going defensive.
Left side. Still there. Clear left.
So, hey, we made it past the first
Well
corner.
done, Oliver. Good start.
The first 2 corners, which is a good result.
On your left. Hold your line. Clear left. Left side. Clear left.
Glad he didn't come on at the apex of that corner because my spotter wasn't telling me if there was anyone there. First lap is in the books and we're living.
On your left. Clear left. Car left. Hold your line.
I
Clear
did my
left.
best to give him as much room as I possibly could have there. I didn't really want to be banging doors with him. He got stitched up slightly by Rodney.
P12.
On your left. Hold your line. Hold
I'm
your
in the
line.
sandwich
You're in
now.
the middle.
Yep, I know I'm in the middle.
Clear left. Right side. Hold your line. Clear all round.
I didn't feel like being the meat in a Porsche sandwich. And credit to Jack, he gave me all the room I needed. Like, he didn't cut across from me.
The leader has just done a 130,
bummer.
30.
I didn't want to be wiping off too much more speed than that through that corner, otherwise I would have got absolutely done by me.
P13.
Let's try to minimize that and keep it to the 1 point where we can.
Car right. Still there.
Wow, he really
Clear right.
was slow through there.
The leader has just done a 130.19.
Took 1 incident point, but at least I'm still racing. Wow. I'm surprised the Lambo stayed underneath me
P11.
that one, to be perfectly honest. I thought given the speed and going off track as well, I thought given that the quick succession change of direction there, I'm very surprised that that car stayed underneath me. At least a cow. Oh, and he's not running the Lambo by the looks of it. He looks like he's running... Oh no, it is the Lambo. No, it's not. It's definitely the Merc. Oh, deep.
Car right. Clear right.
We think your pit window for refuel will open after 21 minutes and closes at about 31 minutes.
Very lucky that he gave me that little bit of room on the inside. Otherwise, me and him are taking each other out.
Alright, Oliver, hold your nerve, just keep it smooth, no mistakes.
As I've touched on a few times in my video, some races you blink and it's like, oh wow, I'm already 22 minutes into this race. And then there's certain tracks and certain races like this one here where you blink and it's been so interesting in the first handful laps and you're like, wow, I must be a fair way into this. Nah, you're 6 minutes in, you've still got like 34 minutes to go now. It's very much so one of those. That Ferrari is also a bullet in a straight line, like it's bloody quick. We are slowly but surely catching up onto the back of Rodney. I'm getting pulled along with Todd. Sorry, with Nicholas, not Todd. Had a spin behind us. I wonder if it was assisted by Pablo or whether it was just a drop the wheel past that curb. Throttle with a bit of steering lock.
Fastest lap for Martini, 1:30.00. The gap in front is now 1.0 seconds.
Fontaine. Pretty sure that's the guy who created Formula Drift. Like the actual competition, not drifting itself. I think Pablo's going to be in a position to have him look into this corner here.
Left side. Still there. Clear left.
Defend your position, don't let him through.
Doing the best I can, man, thanks. Because Takao and Ekarat ahead are fighting.
The guy ahead has just posted a
Rodney and
1:30.20.
Nicholas into this fight as well.
That last lap was a 1:31.54.
Ekarat has had an issue.
Okay, Oliver, the next car is Hankanop.
Car left. Clear left.
Please don't be bumping me, Alan. Final section there. If I can pull that gap out, I reckon Alan and Pablo will just fight. Away from the line there, which is good. Good lap that one. Fastest we've set so far.
You've just done a 130.68. Sector 2 is 0.35 off the pace. Okay, Oliver, don't let this guy distract you.
Left side. Hold your line. Clear left.
P12. The gap to Hancock ahead is now 1.9.
Left side. Clear left.
Such a fine line between what's considered a race, like an off track,
P11,
and what is considered acceptable, because all wheels were off track there, they were on the curbing. I'm going defensive, mate. I'm going to make you go around the outside.
On your left. Clear left. On your right. Hold your line. Still there. Still there. Hold your line. Clear right.
Come on, Oliver. Don't panic. We'll get him back.
And Alan's got to run on me too now to this next sweeping left-hander.
used half your fuel.
Where'd the cow go?
You've just done a 132.07.
Neil Hunter. Blue flag. Hopefully he moves out of the way very quickly. That's good on you.
Use all the track. Force them to find the gap.
Come on, pick up your frames again, Gav. Too deep. That's the second time in a row I think I've been slightly deep into that corner. It will catch me out. Run out of there than Alan. Haven't seen Takao pop back up. I wonder if he's either DC'd or had an incident and had to pit as a result of it. Where's Ekra at?
The car ahead has just done a 130.01, 10th position. You've just done a 130.69.
Matthias, he was behind Alan.
The gap in front is increasing. It's now 1.7. The car behind is reeling you in. The gap is now 2.0.
Matthias Esnell. Right. A little bit more of that inner curb than I would really have liked to. There's Cap.
That lap time was 131.00. The guy behind has just done a 130.24.
And Alan Fontaine. All of them all saying thanks. Jordan Grant, he was ahead of us, he DC'd. We're about 10 minutes from that pit window. Our pit window is just opened 4 or 5 minutes ago. So we could technically jump in now and go all the way to the end of the race. But as I've touched on a few times, I personally like pushing my stints out as far as I can so I run on minimal fuel loads for a little bit of the middle section of the race.
The leader's just
as well
done
as at the end of the race, the
130.04.
final stint, I run as light on as I can for the final stint of the race. Pablo is on the back of
The guy in front has just done a 129.72. Alright, Oliver, that's half distance. We estimate 10 minutes of fuel remaining. That's 20 minutes to go, 20 minutes.
Oh, that's accident. The way they're both moving under braking and in. I wish I told you, I've said this a few times now, I wish I told you where that person was on the track.
E9, that lap was a 1:31.18.
Car left. Hold your line. Hold your line. Still there. Clear left. On your left. Hold your line. Clear left.
Okay, Oliver, hold your nerve, just keep it smooth, no mistakes.
Left side.
Now he's got his move done.
Still there. Still there. Clear left.
Come on, don't let him get away.
Car left. Hold your line. Hold your line. Clear left.
Turning in way too early there and pushing him wide.
The gap in front has increased to 1.1 seconds.
Yeah, I know.
E10.
About 4 or 5 minutes away from the pit window as well.
Okay, Oliver, 15 minutes left, that's 15 minutes. That's 5 minutes of fuel left.
From somewhere, not sure exactly where, but we did.
P9. Sectors 1 and 2 are 0.43 off the pace. Sector 3 is 0.35 off the pace.
Alright.
The guy behind's reeling you in. The gap's now 1.9 seconds.
Wonder if it's people that potentially pitted early that like disappeared through my relative before I got a chance to spot them. Lap.
Very little fuel left. Hit this lap, in this lap. 7th position.
I have a feeling it's going to be through the pits. I could be wrong. Lap.
The car behind's pitting now. Watch your speed limit in the pits. The pit lane speed limit is 60 kilometers per hour. We'll fuel you to the end of the race.
Cool. Alright, so we've got 10 minutes to go in this one. I can't remember how much it told me in terms of fuels going in. 26. Yep. Oh, this makes sense now. So they did pit.
Your exit's clear. Don't cross the white line.
Cap is 11 seconds behind me. Giovanni hasn't pitted, so that's a few people actually having.
10 minutes to go. That's 10 minutes left.
That Hexagon. No, that's not his name.
The leader's pitting now.
Alright.
Car ahead's pitting.
Got Giovanni now.
V12.
On your right. Clear right.
Hold your nerve, make them do the work.
Get our head down. We've got 7 minutes at roughly a minute 30 a lap. It's like 3-4 laps.
P11, your lap time was at 1:31.52. Okay, Oliver, 10 minutes of fuel remaining. The gap behind is now 0.8.
Very slow, actually.
That was 1:31.2.
Left side. Hold your line. Clear left. On your left. Hold your line. Hold your line. Clear left.
The track temp's increasing. It's
Right side. Hold your line. Still there. Still there. Still there. Clear right.
5 minutes remaining, 5 minutes left.
Good racing there. That was good racing, and I realised I was probably silent for like 30 seconds straight there. Ah, man. Been doing so well. I don't feel like I extended all that far over than I typically do. Anyway, Cam knows best.
V12. The guy behind has just done a 1:30.09. ahead is now 1.6 seconds.
Kind of followed him through that corner and we were both slow.
You've just done a 131.19. Okay, Oliver, that's good consistency. Keep it up. Five minutes of fuel remaining. 5 minutes. That's 2 minutes left. 2 minutes.
Alright. Curious to see if we get the white flag this go round or the next one. I think it will be the next one.
Your last lap time was a 130.74.
Pablo was only just ahead of us. I think he's in that cluster of 3 cars ahead. Jack just spun out.
The guy in front is Hankanop.
Last lap.
P11. One more lap to go. You've just done a 130.86. We're running on fumes, mate.
Oh. Surprised I didn't ping you there for one final incident point.
Just 2 minutes left, 2 minutes to go.
All right, so good result, guys. 11th place up to starting, what was it, P15, P16. Had a few more incident points than I was originally hoping for, but we were able to have some really good, clean racing. Oh, hard racing, not clean racing necessarily. So, yeah, I can be happy with that.
Yellow flag.
Bang. There we go. So, I'll just get through this first corner.
And there's the finish. Good result, mate. Well done.
Pull the car up here. And then we'll jump out again. We'll check out the results quickly, and then we will wrap the stream up. There. P11. Gotta feel bad for Jack, though, coming off in that final sector of that final second last lap, sorry. Alright, so that's the practice one. We don't want that. I hope we don't go down in safety rating. I hope even if it is an increase, it's a very marginal increase or a neutral even. But yeah, what else is going on in iRacing? Cool. That's right, Mount Washington's coming into iRacing as well. I did see that. There you go, work in progress photos of the rain, which is pretty cool. So, oh, I didn't mean to do that. How do I go back? That's what I want. That's pretty good. So, yeah. Gotta love that. Work in progress. Yeah, I would have to agree with his comment, mate. It's a work in progress. They might be running just the visual side of things first and then the dynamics things after the fact. Oh well, people never learn. And the results are here, guys. So only a marginal decrease in safety rating, which I can live with. Second split, which was good, with our good place finish, 16.01, so we're back up to 1.6k. Top three were Dustin, Jameson, and Leonardo. Good result. So started P18 actually and got down to 7 position increase, which is great. And that was a really good result, guys. I was going to say, so if you do enjoy the video, far out. Let's just flick this over to here. So guys, that's going to wrap up today's stream. We're pretty much going to call it here for the week. I really enjoyed the iRacing format of it towards the end, and I'm not sure if you guys would agree with me. So if you did, I would appreciate if you just chucked it in the comment section. Let me know what you guys thought. Felt a lot more calming, a lot more easier to interact with you guys than the Formula 1 format was. But that's pretty well going to do it for today's stream. We'll catch you this time roughly next week. And there'll be a few iRacing videos that go up in the meantime between now and then anyway. So thanks very much for watching. As I said, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell if you want to be kept up to date with what's going on the channel. And the Twitter is also a really good place to check out all the information regarding the page. So guys, we'll wrap it up there. Thank you.